Today, we're going to dive into a pretty counterintuitive philosophy. It's something that the world's most successful people are using to find genuine happiness and, get a handle on their anxiety. And honestly, it's a way of thinking that flips our modern ideas of success completely upside down.
It's a pretty wild paradox when you think about it, isn't it? I mean, the very people who have supposedly won the game of success, the billionaires, the founders, the absolute top-tier athletes, they're the ones looking for an escape from it all. So what is going on here? Why are they searching for a way out?
Well, it's because they climbed to the very top of the mountain, only to find out it wasn't what they were promised. They believed that more money, more status, bigger and bigger achievements would finally bring them peace. But what they found was that all that stuff didn't just fail to solve their problems, it actually made their anxiety even worse.
Okay, so who are we actually talking about here? Because this isn't just some fringe idea. This mindset has become a core part of life for some of the most influential people of our time.
I mean, look at this list. You've got tech visionaries like Steve Jobs, whose obsession with Zen-like simplicity basically defined Apple's entire philosophy. You've got titans of finance like Ray Dalio, who literally uses meditation to make these massive, high-stakes decisions. Even world-class athletes like Novak Djokovic, he credits these principles for his incredible mental toughness. They're all turning to one thing: Zen.
So what's the big secret? What did they figure out that maybe the rest of us haven't? Well, they saw right through the great lie of modern success. It's like they ran the whole race, crossed the finish line, and then realized the prize wasn't at all what they thought it would be.
And this is the promise that we are all sold every single day. It's really the engine of our whole culture. This idea that if you can just get that next thing, that promotion, that extra zero in your bank account, then that anxious feeling you have deep down will finally go away.
But what they found was this cruel switch. The fear of not having enough money was just swapped out for a much bigger, much heavier fear. The fear of losing everything they had just gained. And that's when they realized the problem was never on the outside. The source of true fulfillment, and also the source of anxiety, is always on the inside.
So this brings us to the philosopher Alan Watts. He was really the guy who brought Zen philosophy to the West. And he argued that our modern unhappiness really comes from three core poisons of Western thought. These three fundamental beliefs that just keep us trapped.
So look at this comparison, because it basically turns everything we're taught completely on its head. On the left, you have the Western trap. First poison, you have to add things to your life to be happy. Second, you have to obsess over and plan for the future. And third, you have to constantly push and fight against the current. The Zen path is the complete opposite. It says, subtract the noise to find clarity, immerse yourself completely in this very moment, and learn to flow with life. It's a radical idea, right? That maybe our constant striving is the very thing holding us back?
All right, so if those are the poisons making us sick with anxiety and just dissatisfaction, then what's the antidote? What's the cure? Well, Watts didn't just point out the problem, he laid out 6 really powerful, practical principles to fight back.
This is basically Watts's action plan, a practical way to get away from anxiety. I mean, some of these sound kind of crazy, right? Embrace silence in an age of constant noise, or don't chase goals. But it's really about focusing on the process, not the outcome. And altogether, these 6 things really form the core of the Zen mind.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How can we actually apply these really powerful ideas to our own busy, modern, totally information-saturated lives? Well, it starts with a concept you might not expect.
In this age of just constant information overload, probably the most powerful thing you can do is create quiet. We're always thinking we need to learn more, consume more, scroll more. But Zen teaches us to do the opposite, to unlearn. It's about intentionally subtracting information to give your brain the space it desperately needs to actually think.
This quote from Alan Watts just gets right to the heart of it all. It's a direct challenge to that work a job you hate for the money mindset that so many of us fall into. He actually called it a ridiculous way to live, suffering through your days just so you can earn enough money to continue suffering.
So this is the big one, right? This is the most common, most practical objection. We all have bills to pay. But Watts isn't saying we should just ignore reality. He's suggesting we change the sequence of our priorities. He offers a really simple but profound alternative. Okay, so here's the crucial point. You don't chase money directly. That's the trap. Instead, you chase mastery in something you genuinely love. And because you love it, you'll put in the hours. You'll become excellent at it. And then, and this is the key, as a natural byproduct of that excellence, money and opportunities will start to follow you, not the other way around.
And this all brings us to the final, and I think maybe the most important takeaway from Zen philosophy. It's an idea that completely reframes the entire purpose of our existence.
This analogy is it's perfect. Think about your favorite song. The point isn't to rush to the final note, is it? Of course not. The point is the experience of listening, the melody, the rhythm, the feeling it gives you while it's actually playing. And that is the core idea here. Life is not a race with a finish line.
We are so conditioned to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. We suffer through school to get a good job. We endure a job so we can retire. We're always living for some future that, let's be honest, it may never even come. But Zen teaches that today is the point. The journey is the destination.
And that leaves us with a really profound question to think about. Are you actually listening to your music? Or are you just waiting for the song to end? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.